So let's fix our UI. Okay, first of all, we have some inconsistencies. As you can see, I start with 2 great swords, but over here, of course, we only got 1 great sword. We only got we only have 1 list either, so whatever. And okay, so the first thing that we should address is when we start, we should always load the items we're actually using in here. Okay, that's for the right hand, and we of course going to make the second hand as well. Now onto our canvas. So let's get to our canvas. That will be over here, of course. And we have our game UI, we have our navigate manager and our UI manager. Okay, so let's start with something and we'll find where they are. So whenever we actually update this, or whenever we are opening this, let's say what we're doing with this, open inventory. Okay, then whenever the inventory manager opens, which is this, I think I'd rather do it a little bit more encapsulated. So whenever this opens, it will actually force to load the correct items where we need it. Okay, so let's see how we are doing this already. Although, yeah, okay. So let's do that. Yeah, screw this. So let me think. Okay, you have your UI. Okay, so do we have an inventory manager? We don't have an inventory manager from what I can see. No, we do, but we do this on our actual player. So we won't call it that. We're going to call this under managers UI inventory manager. And let's open this up. Let's go with that. Let's open this as well. Come on. Okay. Then that's pretty much going to say on enable. We are going to be loading again all the items we have for this. So to load each item, we have our right hand slots, which in turn they have a UI slot. And I think we don't necessarily do much with them. Let's see where we're calling the load item. We're only doing it from here, which is the load items on slot. And we have the load items on select item dialog. Okay, so I like to actually move this. Well, we do need this, but I'd rather actually move it into a more encapsulated field or encapsulated script. So let's see how we can get this over with. So we say that if the player inventory is dirty, then we get, yeah, so that's the issue with this. So I'm going to comment the, yeah, okay. Let's see where we were setting this as is dirty. Is dirty equals true when we pick up an item. Yeah, okay, this can stay. Inventory manager, item selector, load items, get all items, init navigatable manager. Okay, so that was one of the issues we had where we were getting the errors. Okay, so first things first, let's ignore this entirely, because this basically means you are going to remake any items you have. It just means that we're going to change how we create these items. So with that said, okay, so we're going to get this first of all. Well, instead of is dirty, so now that will return us in all items of type. You know what? Screw this. We do have the item selector. So on the UI Inventory Manager, we do have the item selector. So UI item selector. What was this? Let's make this into a new vertical. I'm just going to go fast with this now because it's basically just for me to remember this. What we are doing, we have the load item slots. Okay, right hand slots, left hand slots, and pretty much anything that you would like to add, like items, item spells, or whatever, or consumables. Okay, but for now I'm going to just ignore consumables altogether. Then that means on enable we need to populate all of these as they are. So we need a reference to our player profile. Okay, let's put this back in here and let's pin this and this. Profile, and then on enable we're going to say right hand slots dot load items profile dot. The problem with this is that we want the instance items and not the actual items, not the actual item IDs, which of course on our player profile we only save the IDs, which of course means that we need access to our inventory manager. So basically we're just going to take this, but without the get all items off, and we're going to encapsulate a few fields. First of all, let's add this in here. Let's say let's close that. This will load all my items. Of course we don't want that. Let's see if we have any access. We do have the right hand weapons and we do have the left hand weapons, so we just need a list of runtime item get right hand weapons, which of course is going to just do a simple get, and left hand weapons let's rename this to weapons. Okay, okay, similarly you could just have a list for the consumables, but for consumables we have the holders and we don't have them as instant items as well. We can do this later, so it doesn't matter right now. We can just get rid of this. So that will be get right item, get right hand weapons, left hand slots load. This is not a method, it's a member. So left hand weapons. Okay, and that will load them. The problem is that when we load this method, we actually destroy the previous objects. So instead of destroying the previous objects, we are simply going to disable them. Okay, so we're going to be a little bit more precise. So instead of a for each loop, we're going to do a for loop of l.count. Delete that, and we're going to say li item ID. We're not going to be adding on the created objects. We're actually going to add it, yes, but let's see, go get component children. Yeah, if created objects dot count is less than minus 1 of course, is less than I, which means we're going to be out of bounds. That means we're going to have to create a game object geo that will be null. Else, then we don't need this. If it's less than I, then we're going to be creating that game object. If it's the same as I, then created objects I. Okay, then we have our game object, and this should only be, we should only be adding that in here. And then we open it up again. So if there's any created objects, we simply disable them and then replace what they actually have on top of them. Awesome. Save that. Okay. This will also fix the other problem we have, but the only thing that doesn't actually fix is where was our last highlight. Okay. We'll find a fix for that later, doesn't matter. Now, we do have all this, so let's set this up, and that will be inside our inventory. Let's see, we need UI inventory manager. Okay, for right hand slots, let's see what we've added. The load items on slots. Okay, slot prefab. Yeah, here's one thing. Let's make this public, or yeah, let's make this public so we can actually add them back. So let's lock this up. We're going to drop all our created objects in there. So at least for this, you won't then really need to add anything else. And we do need a slot prefab, although this is never going to use this, but we're just adding it just for completeness. Let's remove the left hand slot. Let's open this up, set this to 2D. Let's duplicate that, and now we are in the left hand slot. Let's just rename this. Okay, and of course this will go for the items, for the consumables, but the consumables will treat them later. For now, let's just use this. So we do have the left hand slots, we do have now the right hand slots, and all we need is of course our player profile. Saving that, close it, hit play, and when we now open up our inventory, if we do not have any errors, we should have everything into our introduction. Okay, which we do, but here's the thing. In one or more slots, we have more than one instance. So let's see why. We got that. Let's first of all check our player profile. Our player profile says that we do indeed have 4 okay, one more thing though. We should have a reference. Don't close empties. Set it to false, and if not, don't close empties. Around that. Otherwise, we want the empties as well, which of course is going to be used for this. And okay, yeah, this needs to change slightly because we need to clear up our UI slots. So technically we could use this. Yeah, okay, load items, item ID. Anyway, back to our UI inventory manager, we're also going to force this as true and true. Okay, one thing that I actually want to do is have a debug log in here, or how many entries we have for this one. Okay, so the thing is, we do have the 4 normal ones, but this is the unarmed. Okay, that's why this was an issue. And if I click now the player profile, we should see, oh, we do have the 4. Yeah, okay. So this one should go away because we only have 4. And this one is correct. Okay, as you can see. Oh, they are not exactly correct because they all target the same. I think they start, yeah, okay. We should take all of this and tick them as is left, first of all. Let's hit play. Let's open this up, okay. Yeah, okay, we do have some errors left and right. Index, great sword, Firecaster. We do have some things in here, but they don't show. First of all, this one is not showing for some reason. Let's see how we treat the icon. The icon is empty, which means it treated it like it's empty. On our player profile though, we do have great sword, Firecaster. Okay, so one problem with the way we have our runtime, with the way we access our item actually, let's find the inventory manager, is that on our right hand weapons we actually create items from ID. Yeah, we actually create this, create items from ID. No, update references, load weapons. Yeah, we actually add our unarmed runtime. Let's remove those two for now, though this is going to be a problem when we are switching weapons. At least now we get the correct amounts. Okay, the correct amounts and the empty, of course. Okay, now the other thing I'd like to do is I'm actually going to add them back, but here's what we're going to say. On the get, we're going to be creating a new list of result. Okay, then on that one, we're going to add the left hand weapons. We're going to remove the unarmed weapon, the unarmed runtime, and then return that result. Exactly the same thing is going to happen with our right hand. So right hand weapons, and return the result. So now we have our unarmed weapon as well, and we're also going to have we're also going to have our items. There is a catch for that, which I'm going to show you. Okay, so here's our weapons, etc. But let's say we do this. Let's see what happens now. Is of course is going to bundle all of them up in this place. Okay, because the two in the middle are empty We do not add empty entries, but maybe we should. So let's find Arcane Weapons. Let's see where we do the add. That's one is for that. That's for switch. Well, for switch weapon, we can say while list index equals null, do this. So it will just skip any empty entries, and it will play until it finds some that it's not null. Okay, we always have the unarmed weapon inside, so that should not crash us. Okay, that weapon. So when we are now creating the right hand weapons and left hand weapons, when we do add them, let's see where that will be. Reference right hand weapons. Okay, so create items from ID, from IDs. This goes with the IDs. We're simply going to remove, not remove, we're going to add it into the loop. Like this. So when we don't have a reference, we're simply going to add an empty entry, because we always want to have 4 of them. Minimize that. We want it to behave like we only have the ones we're using. So I'm going to put Firecaster and Greatsword on the edge, because I want to also try the switch method. So hit play, and if you see on our right hand, I start with the Firecaster, I switch to the Firecaster again, and that is because we have the while loop a little bit off, because we first need to do this. You get the index, then you add, then you reset, and while the index is like that, you should do this as well. Okay, so we have this in 2 places. Let's see if we can simplify this. We have the result, we add plus, okay, if while index equals null, just go do that. Okay, this will work. This will go from Firecaster to Greatsword now. At least it didn't break, so that will do it. Okay, Greatsword, unarmed, Firecaster, Greatsword, unarmed. So open the inventory. That should look like this. And that happens because we have an empty entry that doesn't have an actual item. So we're simply going to say if li equals null, it's an empty entry, so simply continue. Hit play. And voila. Okay, so we can change, and we basically ignore the middle points. This will be more apparent with the consumable items, but we don't really have that many consumable items. So let's set this to Greatsword. Okay, set this to fire. Okay, Greatsword, as we can see. I don't know why this gets, or I think I do. This doesn't get highlighted. Let's find the fix for that. So whenever we click one of these buttons, we go to, that's on select, that's on deselect, we go to Navigateable Manager, Store Slot, Navigate Manager, Open Select Item Dialog. That's where we want to go. Navigate manager, open select item dialog. Open select item dialog. Okay, and we are here. So the thing with this is we don't actually need to check is dirty anymore. We can just load them because we do not destroy the previous ones. Okay, and that means you need navigatable manager. This shouldn't really be, no, it should be a problem because we now have new entries if we have a new navigatable manager object. Let's see though, if we do get all items off. Actually, let's see how this works. I will see. Before we move into making any big changes. Okay, so open this up and we have our 6 items. Okay, then I go and pick up a new one. Then we open that up again, and now we have an error because an item we're trying to get, there's no item, there's no runtime item, there's no target item. What? New runtime item, create item instance, create item instance. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to say. We're going to go on the navigate manager and I'm going to basically attach this to Unity. Although I think that's probably the issue, yeah. We forgot to remove that one. Let's go make this. Let's comment this out. Let's attach this to Unity and select this one. Actually, not yet. Let's give it a spin first. Let's open it up, see that everything is working. Okay. Pick up item. We open this up. Okay. So let's try this now. Attach it. We want this to be here. Then, don't tell me we are already there. No. Don't care for that. Continue. Okay. Select that one, whatever that was. And here we are. So, load items. We're telling him to get all our items. Let's get inside. Step out. Let's go over here actually. And put a breakpoint in here. Let's hit continue. And we're here. So we do have 8 entries, which we're not going to close. Okay. Let's put a breakpoint in here. Continue. Then, out of those 8 entries, all of them have items, so I think it has to do with the created objects. Or well, at least I thought it would. Here it is. Create objects. We do have 7. So that will run for a bit of time. Let's hit continue. Continue, 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 and continue. And we're out of it. Then the ID came from in here because we're trying to... I don't really know. I think it has to do with the whole navigate, or I think to this part has to do with the icons more than this. So we do load the item, we get the item ID, we tell it to update the icon hook, but we do not access anywhere. Yeah, I don't think we are accessing the runtime item. No, we don't. in here, so that's not it. So where is this coming from? Let's say the error. It says coming from load items on slot 45. Oh, it's coming in here, yeah. Oh. There might be a runtime item that doesn't actually have an item. So let's see. If li dot item equals null, application dot, actually we can just put a breakpoint in here. Li dot, I don't know, object distance. Let's just put the breakpoint and attach this. And great, we crashed Unity. And we're back. Let's try to attach this again. Hopefully we don't crash. Let's hit play. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, so we open this up. We don't really need this one. Continue. We're back. Okay, we're opening. Not useful either. We add something. We close that. We go and pick a new item. Then we add it, and here we are. So we do have an item of an object instance that is null. So I'm going to assume that is the new picked up item, which I'm going to assume that, well, when we pick up an item, we probably forgot to assign something. So let's see, runtime item, item ID, target item. Let's go back, create an item instance here. I'm going to assume that this is correct since we get the item, but let's do an if item is null, or let's do if item is not null first of all, else debug.log id plus is null. Okay, that's one of it. Create item instance. That's the same thing, so why? Oh, that's why. Return runtime, return null. Well, this shouldn't be a problem, but okay, so that's new. Create item instance. Why do we have two separate of them? Yeah, okay, because one, we don't actually access the item, but if this item now is null, then that's going to be a problem. So let's cut this and paste this in here. Then let's do if item not equals null, do all of this, and then return null as well. Let's say debug.log item is null on instance. Save that, minimize, and let's give this a shot. But I think I'm just going to end the part after this, because yeah, that's not just the part that we're going to get over it with one. So let's pick this up, and here we are, is null, and then the rest. Let's say what that item actually has as an item. Let's find this in here. Yeah, because this doesn't actually have any item IDs on them, and for whatever reason all of this lost their item ID. I don't know why, but I do know how to fix them. We just set that as a great sword. We might have changed the ID and we forgot to assign it. Okay, so we pick up an item, and now we have more items than we had before. Okay, I'm going to pick them up. Yeah, this is also a problem, of course. So let's fix that. And to do that, we're going to go on the actually I'm going to go through my input manager, and I'm going to find the new input manager. Let's see, we have the interact, we have the menu. I'm just going to go through handle menu. Menu is open, UI manager. Okay, so let's go on the handle menu, and then we're going to do void. Yeah, okay, no. We want the menu UI. Does this compile? Inventory manager, menu UI. Yeah, okay. We do not have something specific to that, but we can use this, which means we're going to have to do on disable. What happens when you close all of it? Is that all of it? Yeah, it is all of it. And we're going to have a callback. Let's pick one of these slots and see how we reset that. So with this we say open select item dialog. With this we say open inventory. Okay, so we just have to force the navigate manager, and to do that we can just go navigate manager singleton dot open inventory whenever we are closing this. So now if I close my inventory inside selecting a weapon, it should reset back to normal. Okay, so I'm going to say I can select now weapons, and I'm closing it without selecting an item and opening it up again, and we are back to inventory. Okay, awesome. Set that up. So let's save all of this, and as you can see, we have, for the most part, we have fixed the issue, but I can't select the two new items we have. To fix that as well, let's delete this debug log, we don't really care for it. To fix that, it basically means whenever we create a new item that is of course navigatable. Let's see, navigatable group manager. We need to register it. The way we do this is whenever something opens, let's see, we have all of that. Okay, I think we just do this via the navigatables under the navigatable manager. Okay, navigate manager, item selector. Is this one? No. Is this one? No. Open inventory. So that has to be underneath all of them, probably. Anyway, let's take this from, oops, wrong one. Let's take this from the actual UI slot, which is, yeah, the navigate button. I mean, we have the navigatable on deselect, on select, on select. Okay, so where are we accessing the navigatables? It should be navigatable group manager. Okay, init navigatable manager, init navigatable manager. You just go through all of them and access them back up. But we can have a list, or we can have a register to this. Well, we can just turn this into a list, to be honest. Let's see. Yeah, okay, let's turn this into a list then. Or we don't actually need this at all, because we could just throw inside the navigatables, inside the interface, so they just go and register by themselves. So that will be void init, which means on our navigation button we're going to have to create now the init method, which is init, which we're going to say on enable, throw init, and you're going to go find the navigatable manager or group manager. Let's just call it group. Should we do it like this, or should we do it the opposite way? I think we should do it the opposite way. Yeah. And you'll see why. Let's remove that interface. So every time this opens, it's going to go and look for navigatables, and especially navigatables that aren't enabled are going to be closed. Okay. So let's check one more thing. When we say navigate, we are going to get the result of that result if that result is not equals null. So that means we have to look through the result, and if t is the same as the origin, continue, and if t dot game object dot is not active in hierarchy, continue as well. Okay, so on enable to this, we don't really need this one. On enable, actually I think we don't even need this one as well. On enable, we're going to access all our navigatables. Again, get components in children, navigatables, and then for each navigatable in the navigatables we have over here, if navigatables dot, or that's wrong, if navigatables dot contains n, do nothing, but if it doesn't contain it, then just add it. Navigatables dot add n. Okay, all navigatables. Okay, now if current navigatable dot get transform dot game object is not active in hierarchy, well, first of all, if current navigatable not equals null, to that, close this. Actually, you don't need to close that, you need to make it into a statement. Okay, now if it is, then just add it, assign the first navigatable. Okay, and if this now current navigatable is not equals null and it's not active in hierarchy, now of course this doesn't most likely the current navigatable, the first navigatable is going to be active, so that's more like it. Okay, then I think that should do it. That should fix that part, because we're always going to be accessing again our navigatables. So let's click play and let me check, and let's see how it works right now. Okay, we have an error. Let's find this. and we have an error because the navigate well, first of all, if current navigatable is null, return, obviously. Then navigate, debug direction, debug move. Update current manager. Yeah, because that one. Let's try this. I think because the update ran before the on enable, that's why we got that error. Let's try it now though. Okay, we have a non-negative and navigatable grid manager 52. Navigatable grid manager, current navigatables equals 0. What? Oh, yeah. We also need to assign them over here. So if it does not contain what? If get components children I navigatable. Oh yeah, okay. We need to be creating them. Get result, execute application. Let's see. Navigatables contain navigatables. Get transfer. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to comment this out for now, and I'm going to say get a debug log for how many you are actually adding, or navigatables, how many they are. Navigatables dot count. I think I might forget something, especially with the init gone. It might be that we're not creating this. Let's see. Now we don't even access anything because we do not have a reference. And navigatable. Okay, we do need all of that then. At least the first one works fine. But what doesn't actually work is we need to reorganize when we create the items. For example, when we have the button, say open select item dialog in the navigate manager, open, where is it? Open select item dialog. We can see that the inventory manager closes, the select item manager opens, but then we load the items. So that should be like this, because this will create the items, whatever they are and how many they are, and this will then go and assign them. So you should remember to always have them, to always open the game object last. And true, voila, that's what we need. So when I go and pick all of them up, I can go now and I have my 3 new items, and I can actually access them. Okay, so that's it for this part. We actually fixed all our issues, well, most of our issues with this one, and as you can see, that's actually pretty easy. On the next part, we're going to take care of the duplicates, but for the duplicates, of course, we're going to have to create a few more items just to be sure of them. But yeah, as a standalone, this video worked just fine. So That's it for this part. As always, you know what to do, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, and if you like to see more stuff, more videos, more series, more of everything, then consider supporting me on Patreon so we can keep making all of these nice things we're making. I'll see you next time.